Ambani's biggest gamble, wealth, power, and the ultimate risk in Jio. Imagine a boardroom where one of the country's biggest businessmen is standing. Directors are seated in front of him, analysts outside are asking questions, and inside, a decision is being made that can either turn Reliance into the biggest digital company of the future or put billions of dollars of capital at risk. Mukesh Ambani decided to enter telecom, but this was no small experiment. This was a gamble in which a network had to be built, spectrum had to be acquired, towers had to be set up, technology had to be brought in, and crores of Indians had to be convinced that the internet is not a luxury but a daily need. The fear was that if India was not ready, if users did not come, if revenue was not generated, then this dream could become a financial disaster. And the curiosity is, how did that same Jio, which Ambani called the biggest risk of his life, become the biggest engine of Reliance's future story today? Mukesh Ambani admitted in an interview that Jio was the biggest risk of his life. He said that at that time Reliance was investing its own money, analysts doubted whether India was ready for advanced digital technology or not, but Reliance trusted the scale. According to reports, Ambani described the initial investment in Jio as his risky bet because it was not just about building a telecom company, but an attempt to change India's digital behavior. In the year 2016, when Jio made its commercial launch, mobile data in India was not as common as it is today. Internet was expensive for many people, video streaming was limited, and digital life in small towns was just beginning. Jio entered the market with free voice calls, cheap data, and aggressive pricing. It completely changed the game of the telecom industry. Pressure mounted on old players, many companies weakened, some merged, and data consumption suddenly grew like an explosion. Jio did not just add customers, it changed people's digital habits. But Ambani's planning was not limited to just selling SIM cards. If Jio were only a telecom network, the story would have ended there. The real dream was to build a digital ecosystem where connectivity is linked with content, commerce, cloud, payments, entertainment, enterprise technology, and artificial intelligence. Today, Jio Platforms has become a widespread digital structure stretching from telecom connectivity to services like JioCinema, JioMart, broadband, 5G, cloud, and AI. This is why Jio is considered the center of Reliance's future growth story. In Reliance's latest reporting, the scale of Jio Platforms appears massive. According to the Q4 FY26 results, strong growth was reported in Jio Platforms' quarterly revenue and EBITDA, and the ARPU, meaning average revenue per user, was also stated to have increased to around 214 rupees. This shows that Jio is not just in a race to add users, but efforts to extract earnings from them are also intensifying now. Jio's biggest strength is its user base. When a company has crores of connected users, it no longer remains just a telecom company, it becomes a digital gateway. The customer uses data on the phone, then watches videos in the same ecosystem, does shopping, makes payments, gets broadband, uses cloud services, and can move on to AI tools in the future. Ambani's thinking seems to be that Jio should become the entry point of India's digital life. If a customer is connected to the Jio network, it becomes easy to connect them to Jio services. But this is also the biggest risk, because the bigger the ecosystem, the larger the investment required. 5G rollout, spectrum cost, fiber network, towers, data centers, cloud, content rights, AI infrastructure, and digital platforms. All of these are not cheap. Jio has to continuously invest capital. In the telecom business, you cannot just set up a network and leave it. Technology changes every few years. From 4G to 5G, 5G to future 6G, normal cloud to AI cloud, simple content to immersive media, everywhere money and innovation are needed. For a long time, Jio's strategy remained scale first. First, add users, make the internet cheap, form a habit, and then gradually increase monetization. This strategy was successful too, because a data revolution came to India. UPI, OTT, online education, digital payments, startups, creators, delivery apps, and small business digitization got a massive boost from cheap internet. But from a business angle, the question always remains, how much return on such a large investment will come and when? The user base is large, but profitability and cash flow discipline are equally important. The competition in front of Jio is not small either. In telecom, Airtel is a strong rival, and though Vodafone Idea's condition has been weak, the market is not entirely empty. In digital services, the competition is even bigger. In the cloud, there are giants like Amazon Web Services, Microsoft Azure, and Google Cloud. In content, there are Netflix, YouTube, Disney, Amazon Prime, and regional OTT players. In e-commerce, there are Amazon, Flipkart, and quick commerce platforms. In AI, Google, Microsoft, Meta, OpenAI, and many startups are in the field. This means that at every front of the digital empire Jio dreams of, global and local giants are standing. This is why Jio will have to win not just with Indian scale but with world-class technology. Adding users is one thing, keeping them hooked on high-value digital services is another. A telecom customer is price-sensitive. If tariffs rise too much, the user can get upset. If tariffs remain too low, the revenue remains under pressure. Content is expensive, the cloud demands enterprise trust, AI computing is costly, and margins are thin in e-commerce. Therefore, Jio's real test begins now, turning scale into sustainable profit. For Reliance, Jio is important also because the traditional oil-to-chemicals business could be affected in the future by energy transition, climate pressure, and global demand cycles. Reliance has made retail and digital its future pillars. In the annual report 2025, Reliance presented retail and digital businesses as growth engines and placed Jio Platforms at the core of the digital ecosystem. Now, the talk of a Jio IPO is also a part of this story. According to a Reuters May 2026 report, news emerged of a shift in plans regarding the Jio Platforms IPO, where it was viewed as a pure fundraising initiative and foreign investors want to remain long-term. The report mentioned Jio as one of the largest telecom platforms in the world by user base, and the potential valuation was considered massive. If the Jio listing is successful, it could be one of the biggest events in India's capital market. But an IPO is not risk-free either. In the public market, investors look at performance every quarter. The scrutiny of growth, margin, ARPU, capex, debt, competition and regulation increases. There is a difference between private ambition and public market expectations. If after the Jio listing investors feel that growth is proving expensive or monetization is slow, valuation pressure can mount. Therefore, for Jio, not just vision but execution and financial discipline are necessary now. Regulation is also a big factor for Jio. The telecom sector is heavily regulated. Spectrum policy, tariff rules, data privacy, competition law, digital platform regulation, content rules, and AI governance all can affect Jio's future. The bigger the ecosystem built, the more the eyes of the government and regulators will be on it. If Jio links telecom, commerce, content, and data together, questions related to privacy and competition can also arise. In the world of big tech, scale is an advantage, but scale also brings scrutiny. There is an emotional angle to Ambani's risk story as well. Reliance's old strength was built on oil, petrochemicals, and refining. That was a business of hard assets, where an empire was built through plants, pipelines, and physical infrastructure. Jio is different. It is a business of digital trust, user behavior, technology speed, and ecosystem control. An oil refinery can work for decades, but if a digital platform lags behind in innovation, it can lose relevance in a few years. Therefore, Jio's risk is not just money, it is also the risk of speed. Still, it is difficult to deny the fact that Jio changed India. After cheap data arrived, video calls became common in villages, small creators came onto YouTube, online classes reached small towns, the adoption of digital payments accelerated, and businesses started capturing customers through WhatsApp, apps, and online catalogs. Jio played a major role in taking the internet from the elite to the mass market. This is the very impact because of which Ambani views Jio not just as a business, but like a nation-scale digital mission. But after every revolution comes the next phase. In the first phase, Jio provided connectivity. In the second phase, it increased speed through 5G and fiber. Now the third phase could belong to AI, cloud, enterprise, media, and commerce. If Jio succeeds in this phase, Reliance can truly become an Indian digital superpower company. But if users do not stick around in the ecosystem, if the content strategy proves expensive, if global giants forge ahead in AI and cloud, then Jio will have to change its strategy repeatedly. Jio's biggest strength is its understanding of India. Reliance has a deep understanding of the Indian consumer, pricing psychology, distribution, and scale execution. Jio delivered SIMs to remote towns, built retail stores and digital channels, and designed plans by understanding the mass market. This local advantage is not easy for global players like Amazon or Google. But the strength of global players lies in technology, cash reserves, and research. Therefore, the contest will be local scale versus global technology. The future of Jio also links to the Ambani family succession story. At Reliance, next-generation leadership is becoming more visible in businesses like retail, digital, and new energy. In the coming years, Jio will not remain just Mukesh Ambani's risk, but will also become a test for Reliance's next generation. Will they be able to turn it from a telecom giant into a digital giant? Will Jio be able to make a deeper entry into India's everyday digital life? Will it meet the expectations of global investors? These questions will determine the Reliance story for the coming decade. The biggest lesson of this story is that big business empires are not built just on safe decisions. 𝐻𝐪𝐵 Ambani saw big dreams from textiles to petrochemicals. Mukesh Ambani, after refining and retail, took a gamble on Jio that changed the entire industry. But every big gamble brings fear along with it. If success is found in Jio, Reliance will write the biggest Indian story of an oil-to-tech transformation. If challenges increase, the market will ask whether the company deployed too much capital into a future that is not yet completely predictable. There is a lesson in this for the ordinary investor too. One should not get swept away in hype just by looking at a company's glitter. Jio is big, powerful, and the center of India's digital story, but the risk is also big. Telecom capex, competition, regulation, technology disruption, and the speed of monetization, all these factors are important. A big brand is not always a guaranteed return. The real strength of a business is seen in cash flow, execution, innovation, and customer loyalty. In the end, the story of Jio rests on one question. Will this company make India just a connected country or a digitally powerful country? The risk that Mukesh Ambani called the biggest gamble of his life has today become the future identity of Reliance. Ambani's wealth is invested in Jio, his power is invested, and his dream is invested too. But the bigger the dream, the heavier the responsibility. Today, Jio is not the name of just a SIM card. It has become a symbol of India's digital future. If it succeeds, India will have its own global-scale digital champion. If it stumbles, a big question mark can rise over Reliance's growth story. Therefore, the story of Jio is not just Ambani's business story. It is the story of an era where data is the new oil, users are the new land, and technology is the new empire. Mukesh Ambani has laid the foundation of this empire. Now the real test is whether Jio can build such a digital empire on this foundation that changes the story of both Reliance and India for many decades to come.
If this video has taught you something new, or if you feel this information should reach more people, don't forget to like and share the video. Your small share can become valuable and useful information for someone else. If you have any questions related to this topic, or if you would like to share your opinion with us, be sure to write in the comment box. We read every question and suggestion from you, because your feedback inspires us to create better content. And if you want to keep receiving such interesting and reliable information about business, the economy, and the world in the future, then don't forget to subscribe to our channel GRT Business and also press the bell icon so that you get notifications of every new video directly. At GRT Business, we always strive to provide you with accurate, balanced, and reliable information. Our news and analysis are prepared based on information obtained from various news agencies, public sources, and public opinion. We make every effort to verify and validate each fact as much as possible. But in case of any possible error or dispute, the responsibility lies with the respective sources. Our only aim is to present you with a correct and trustworthy perspective so that you can understand any topic better.